Pablo Neruda's Don't Go Far Off and Owl City's Vanilla Twilight both touch on the theme loved ones give a sense of completeness and security that causes one to be lost when they are not there. They, however, both take a different approach. Pablo Neruda's poem shows an attitude of despair if his loved one is going to leave him, and inversely, Vanilla Twilight explores an attitude of hope and how wonderful it would be to see her again. Despite the differences in attitude, there are many similarities and literary devices that connect these two works. One line that comes to mind from each when comparing the two is "Don't leave me for even an hour," because then the little drops of anguish will run together and pour me a heavy dose of atmosphere. The reason these two lines are connected is because Neruda's line, the former, portrays the little worries and anguishes that arise when she leaves as droplets that run together like water. The latter portrays water as a dose of remembrance of her because earlier in the song, he alludes to her leaving through space, and she is with the stars. This line not only gives homage to the cliché love line about getting drunk to forget, but drowning himself in the memory of her, a paradox of sorts portrayed through water. Again, pointing out the duality of attitudes in these works, one using water as a pool to drown in despair, and the other as a drink to drown in hope. On a separate note, Neruda's poem uses enjambment only when he is talking about the anguish of her leaving, but there is one stanza in it that doesn't have enjambment, the only part where he's remembering the good things about her, i.e., "Oh, may your silhouette never dissolve on the beach, semicolon, line end. May your eyelids never flutter into the empty distance, period, line end," and etc. The interesting connection, though, is in verse through the song, i.e., "The silence isn't so bad, period, till the start of the sentence, yet the measure ends here. I look at my hands and feel sad." Both songs portray despair through enjambment, emphasizing the nature of despair in a hopeless rush of anxious emotions. I'd also like to go back to Neruda's line, because there is an interesting connection there. In it he says, "May your eyelids never flutter into the empty space." Empty distance usually referring to space, when in Vanilla Twilight, it is the main focus of the song. Neruda doesn't want her to wander to an empty distance where she drifts off and can't be found again. Owl City, though, in the line, "The stars lean down to kiss you," alludes to space coming down and embracing her in their time away. Though their attitudes are different, they both use space as a metaphor for a place they are no longer in contact with the ones that they love. The final connection I'd like to make is one attitude that they both share. Neruda writes, "I will be waiting for you, as in an empty station where they are parked off, where the trains are parked off somewhere asleep." Personification. The asleep most likely refers to how boring and distant the trains are from him, physically and spiritually, emphasizing how focused he is on her. This is backed up earlier in the line with "parked off somewhere else." He doesn't care where they are parked, they're somewhere else. All that matters about the station is that he is waiting for her to come home. Similarly, Owl City writes, "I'll find repose in new ways, though I haven't slept in 2 days, 'cause cold nostalgia chills me to the bone." He can't find a reason to sleep, or maybe he doesn't want to, because sleeping is like a world away from the thoughts of her. So he can't do it because the sleep, like the trains did in Neruda's poem, is a portal away from the thoughts of his loved one. The only thing that matters is the nostalgia of thinking of her, the waiting for her, the completeness in which she, the universal lover, brings.